Yeah, I'm beginning to realize that it's not about even Buddhism, but it's about reality. What what you see, because I'm sorry to say this, but we were living in an imaginary reality, and everything you see, even Zen, is a projection of the mind. Until you see what's behind. Do not become attached to the word. The word is before the meaning. Look for the meaning, not the word. Do not become attached to the word. Okay? And so just like Trungpa said years ago to his audience, and I saw a short video and I looked at his audience. These guys are really young. They're like in their 20s. But anyway, he said he was talking about the three poisons, and the conventional world does not understand these three poisons, but they have them, and also we have them in this room, and that's what we're trying to dissolve. So he said, when he was giving a talk to us, he said the three poisons in this room. So, because conventional people or the conditioned world grew up with the idea they call the self-existence of who they are, and right after they were born out of the mother's womb, and they say a mother gives her or his child 1,200 gallons of milk transformed from her blood. That's why her bones are dark. So, just think about that. I never saw that before. 1,200 gallons of milk for one baby, for you and me, and not just hats off to our mother, but to repay her kindness or our debt to our mother. I didn't associate myself to my mom for a long time. Was more to my dad. I looked more like my dad, but he was more refined. But my mom was the one that I really connect with now. Okay, so right after you were born, now you have to give. You have to get your nourishment from outside. It's no more inside. You're outside. And then tradition, culture, education, ignorance confirms the realities outside. That's why we're always trying to get things, grasp things, chase after things, because the reality is outside. And it's a very unique thing about Zen is that it considers everything is a projection of your mind, which is an imagined reality, until you see what's behind the imagined reality. So we have to even get that far. The only thing that's not a projection is space, cessation, nirvana, non-dualism, non-arising. Cessation means liberation, means nirvana. Those are the 5 aspects is when reality finally kicks in. And so actually reality is basically about mind, not your mind, but the mind of the entire universe that you're intimately a part of. So that's reality. And when you see reality, okay, even Zen or wisdom or prajna, it's not the word. They say it's before prajna or it's not prajna. In the Heart Sutra, there's 33 knots, N-O-T, that it's not this, it's not that, because once you name it, that's a projection. You're separated from the reality. So is that pretty clear? I'm really happy about this because I can study what the principles are. First, there's people with experiential, and then there's people with correct knowledge. So one is the relative, one is the absolute. You need both, and I think for the longest time, when Dharma came, or it arrived in the early '60s, everyone was after the experience, the suchness, the emptiness, the carrot. Everyone was after, but we had no idea of what the principles were. And so, to know, you need the two truths is relative and absolute. The absolute is the experiential, just experiential. And then the correct knowledge is the principles. So you know the principles so you can explain it also. But you have to read it over and over and over again for a long time until you can do it by heart. I think so. Then it becomes part of you. And when it becomes part of you, your realization is only to be shared with people. That's the whole purpose of it, not for yourself. Okay, so there's a lot to say in a short time. But this is the Lankavatara Sutra, and it's any question. Mahamati. Maha means great, Mati means wisdom, great wisdom. It could be Manjusri, it could be Mahamati, great wisdom, okay? And he or even she has a dialogue with the Buddha, and the Buddha answers all her questions. It's about not just Asian religion, it's about world religion. Any question under the sun that's about religion. And in the entire book, she asks the Buddha, and the Buddha replies in a very wonderful way, non-biased. Whether it's Hinduism, which is like Christianity, because it's about a god or a creator, it doesn't matter because each tradition grew out of each. And we have a tendency to separate things, which is better, which is worse. But we can't say that because Taoism, Confucianism, Theravadin, Mahayana, Vajrayana, it grew all out of each other. And they're a little bit, you don't say which is best, because if it wasn't for our ancestors, we wouldn't be here. The American Indians, they were here a long time. And that's your grandfather and your great-great-grandfather. Those are our ancestors. And we need to appreciate that because that's why we're here. Okay, so this is a good way to start. And there's a phrase called Ye Dharma. And Ye Dharma is very important. It's an ancient phrase. Ye is like primordial. Dharma is everything, is the universe. And it was uttered by the Buddha. And what he said, of all things produce, there's a cause. And then third line, the Tathagata, which is another name for Buddha, proclaims, again, there's a cause, and the most important thing, there is a cessation to the cause. That's the liberation. So, for instance, I've said this many times, I realized what the major party is in the world. And so when Kamala Harris was running for president, I want a woman to be president because the men are doing such a bad job. And I want a colored woman to be president. But it wasn't the Republicans, it wasn't the Democrats, it's not communists, it's not military, it's greed, anger, and ignorance. That's the major party. And everyone has that, has been conditioned by that until that's the cause of the world, of humanity's suffering. Humanity, because we are so conditioned, we only see things symptomatically. So, for instance, there's a group that fights for human rights, Amnesty International. I was a member for years, but then I realized the major party and that they're focused on the symptom, but they have no idea what the cause is. So I had an idea, maybe I should write them a letter and tell them what the cause is. But they're so invested in their own self, their own greed, their own anger, and their own ignorance, they would ignore my letter. And even if I was to go to Congress to present this to them, actually, there are a lot of religious teachers that went to Congress, and they should have said that to them. Right, really. But so it's symptomatic. It's not about cause. The cause is greed, anger, and ignorance. That's it. Ye Dharma. And so Ye Dharma was a sacred phrase. And in the ancient time, you could substitute that for Buddhist relics. They were that sacred. We should bring that word back again. But it's until we realize what that means, we bring it back. Okay? And it's interesting. Every belief system, every philosophy, even religion has no meaning. It's all projection. And it's all idea. I believe in Christ. It's just an idea. It's still a projection. But in Zen, or in true Dharma, you have to realize it. You have to go beyond the condition, the word itself. And you have to have a direct experience, which is the same as Buddha's insight. So that's the liberation. First, as you're training yourself, and it takes a lot of training to turn the conditioned mind around, because everywhere it's conditioned. And so, in a true way, we are swimming upstream. We're going against the current. And it takes a lot of strength and a lot of help from all kinds of people. And what we're witnessing in the world is happening for us. It's not good. We're not in a good situation. And it's hard to be in a good situation because everything's conditioned that way. And everyone has their own greed. Humanity is very ignorant. We haven't learned anything about we're still killing each other. It's really a pity. Just think about it. It's a big pity. So Ye Dharma, okay? And so the only way you can get out of the is the cessation of the greed, anger, and ignorance. And because we're not looking outside anymore. It's the truth of the reality is not outside, it's here. And because it's here, you can see it. If it wasn't here, you can't see it. You can't realize it. And so we're not interested, especially in Zazen training, you're not interested in entertaining the mind. You're not interested in ideas. You're not interested. You're interested in cessation, not invigorating your mind to keep on thinking. You're trying to let that go. You're trying to let it go. Okay? And so, even in Zen, there's the idea of Zen, but still, that's the projection. It's until, like the Four Noble Truths, noble, Arya, in Sanskrit, means only those who have realized it. It's not for humanity. I thought that was interesting. The Four Noble Truths is not for humanity. It's for only, because those people who realize it know it's true. But the rest is philosophy. It's idea. It's projection. And so that's what's unique. So you attain the realization without doing anything, non-doing, because everything that is produced causes karma. It has a cause, and we're trying to cease the cause. And so, becoming there's not many things. It's only space. It's liberation. It's cessation. It's non-arising. It's non-dualism. Say 5, but they're all the same. But they have the ingredients of liberation. Your greed, anger, and ignorance, like right now. I'm demonstrating it. It's not there. It's dissolved. Okay? So I'll read a little bit. Any questions so far? The Bhagavan, that's kind of a nice term for Buddha. And Buddha, it means the awakened one, historical Buddha, but it also means the awakeness you have within yourself. That's because if you keep on referring to the Buddha as a person, you forget you're also, it means you, no one else. You the wakefulness that you have within yourself. Because how could you realize it if you weren't that? Okay, the Bhagavan, here's Mahamate. The teachings of emptiness, non-arising, non-duality, and the absence of self-existence, meaning your ego, pervades all the sutras spoken by the Buddha. There's thousands of sutras and they're difficult to understand. But it contains the same thing, the absence of self-existence, non-duality, non-arising, emptiness, okay? Every sutra teaches these same truths. But because every sutra responds to the longing of humanity, it says beings, sentient beings, but I use humanity. It's more direct. Sentient means emotional beings, not just, maybe I should use the word emotional beings, but that's a very negative. But because we are attached to our emotions, that's why we suffer. And we suffer, make other people suffer. Okay? So humanity. Okay. Because every sutra teaching responds to the longing of humanity. They differ as to how they express these truths, which are not reality in the words. Although the whole book is not reality. These are the words. But, and again, the words have a meaning. Don't attach to the words, but look for the meaning. What's the meaning to you? When the True Soul gives a talk, what was the meaning? And the True Soul should ask themselves, what is the meaning? Huh? What is the meaning of the meaning? Huh? So when yourself, the idea, it's about the idea. It's, at first I thought, if yourself is going to disappear, I thought, geez, maybe my mind and body will disappear. But it's the idea of your mind and body, okay? So you don't have to be afraid, okay? It's your idea that dissolves. And when that idea dissolves, that means greed, your anger, and your ignorance dissolves. And you find yourself where you are. And you enjoy that. You have delight in where you are. You see a tree, but because you don't have the separation, you appreciate the tree. You can fully appreciate the sunrise. It's where you are. That's what meditation is. What is it? Meditation is unifying the scattered mind. And that's where you are. Okay? Which are not really in the words. Okay. Just as the sight of a mirage confuses a herd of deer, whereby the deer imagine the appearance of water where there is no water. Likewise, the teachings of the sutras are meant to gladden people's hearts, to make people happy, basically, to resolve their suffering, make people happy. That's basically what it's all about. But Buddha's knowledge is not to be found in the words. Therefore, trust the meaning and don't cling to the words. So, yeah, I discovered in a book on page 249, this is the entire Mahayana teaching. All the thousands of sutras. These two paragraphs is the entirety of the Mahayana teaching. Okay, are you ready? Huh? The 5 dharmas include the 3 modes of reality. So I'll explain this. The 5 dharmas, the 5 things, include the 3 modes of reality in which we live. The 8 forms of consciousness and the 2 kinds of self is the entire Mahayana teaching. Just those 3. But it's not... These are only the words, but it includes the entire Mahayana teaching. Okay, first, name and appearance. Okay, this is the 5 dharmas. This is how it works. The 5 things. For every human being. Oh, appearance. Next, it's a tree. 3, it's a projection. You've named it. You've designated it. It's already separated from you. That's the moment of suffering. And then you can realize that with suchness, and then maybe in the 60s, I think people start to realize it with suchness. Then after suchness comes correct knowledge, how to explain how it happens. Okay, that's the experiential. The other one is, again, you're walking, appearance, flower, projection, separation. The third is correct knowledge. You know it's a projection, so you don't separate from it. And then suchness. Suchness is the same as the emptiness. Suchness is more positive, same as emptiness. Suchness is ultimate reality with nothing to possess. It's wonderful because our reality, we have our reality, but we want to possess it, but you can't possess it. Okay? There's nothing you can possess. Even you have to wash your car. If you possess something, you wouldn't have to do anything. But anyway, isn't that something? Okay, so that's the 5 dharmas, the relative and the absolute, and then the 3 modes of reality. One is imagined reality. So as you look into the world, imagine reality. You see all these things are dependent on. They're connected to each other, and it's a matrix of dependency of things. But what you do, between what did it say? A snake and a rope. Because you are already in an imagined reality, you identify the snake as a rope. So it's already imagined reality. You have the wrong reality. Okay? The second one, I mean, these are examples. The second one is dependent, or a dependent reality. I'll read you. First, I'll read you the imagined. Imagine, dependent, and perfected. But one great thing about Zen, or unique thing about Zen, even when you say perfected reality, that's the one I want to be, but actually that is still a delusion until you realize perfected reality. Yeah. Okay, let's go to imagined reality. Yeah, this is what it says about imagined reality. This is one of the 3 modes of reality, according to the Yogacara school, and represents this net of delusions cast upon from dependent reality and interpreted as real. In the snake and rope analogy, imagined reality is when the rope is seen as a snake. This is imagined reality. Now we go to dependent, the other mode, dependent reality. Reality as a matrix of interdependence where nothing exists by itself because it's dependent. Dependent reality is also to referred as dependent origination. And in the snake and rope analogy, dependent reality is the rope. While it forms the basis still of misinterpretation, it is also a misperception as it is, because it's an arbitrary designation without self-existence. Does that make sense? Ropes. Well, maybe, let's see, okay. In the snake and rope analogy, dependent reality is the rope, okay? But it's still a misinterpretation because the rope is not a rope. So it's just a designation, just a name. That's what makes it not right. Okay? And now we move to the last one, perfected reality. One of the three modes of reality. This refers to seeing what is truly so, because it's perfect, right? It also corresponds to the last two of the five dharmas, namely the correct knowledge of suchness. In the snake and rope analogy, it is seeing both snake and rope as a misperception. That's good, huh? They are neither the snake nor the rope. It's a name. It's a designation. So it's not real. It still remains the projection of one's mind. So how about it? The three realities. You could ask some questions about it, huh?
How does it reflect on the person that's thinking about the three realities? Does it affect the person, or does it make I'm trying to say, does it make the person understand what kind of person he is, depending on the reality that he sees?
Yeah, it depends a lot, because it's about reality and about living life in reality, because most of us are living a life of projection. It's imaginary reality. It's not reality yet. So whatever it is, the glass with water on the table, we call it a glass, but as soon as we give it a name, we're separated from it. But the glass, in Zen, the glass is you, and you are the glass. Okay, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. It's non-dualism. As long as the dualism is there, we suffer. Okay, it's okay, and then the glass is the glass, and I am I. We're separate, but from that commonness, the world has it. Not commonness. They have the difference. First, the glass is the glass, and I am I. And then we have the suffering of that. If everything was like this, the world would be different. We would treat things differently. Inanimate and animate. Entirely different. That's why the Dharma is very important. So when yesterday I spilled a glass of water in the restroom, but I don't get angry. Why do we even get angry? What's there to be angry? I spilled the water, so I clean it up. Most people say, yeah, or swear or do something, but that's extra. You don't need to get angry. It's spilled. So what's the problem? But that's our conditioned response, and that's because we have no connection. We don't have the connection with reality.
What if somebody else spilled the water?
Pardon me?
What if somebody else spilled the water?
Well, I will help them clean it up. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Or people say, hey, look what you did, and laugh. Or you should clean it up, or, just all is extra. The water has been spilled. And when in some ceremonies, when they do sprinkle the wisdom water, the shasui, they call it, not sprinkling, they call it falling water. And they make some kind of a kanji symbol of the heart as they, falling water, not sprinkling water. falling water. Okay, Rose? All right. So let's see. Gee, maybe that's enough, huh? It's hard to sit for a long time and then you switch your mind into the relative because you're in the other absolute without thinking things like that. All right. Okay. Thank you.